problem is an opportunity. Problem is an opportunity because you have opportunity to solve the problem. You have opportunity to grow from the problem. You have an opportunity to let the problem be a problem and just, and let that come with what it comes with. But it's an opportunity, right? Now, what you do with that opportunity is totally up to you.
Welcome back to the Marketing Mentality Podcast. I'm Desmond Walker.
I'm Alan Shelton. What up, y'all?
And it's a marketing masterclass is what we have here. This is where we have conversations inside and out about marketing, advertising, and branding.
Yep.
But today is a little different because, in most cases, whether it's a campaign or a business or entrepreneurial endeavor altogether, it all starts with a problem that you're tasked with tackling and solving, right? Most entrepreneurs aren't entrepreneurs, they're problem solvers. And so, today's focus is just that. And before we get into that, what's the word?
The word is the word. Life is good. God is good. It's December 4th, 5th? What's today? December 5th. It's been a full year already, it feels like, It's but it is a blessing. I saw something on TikTok the other day. It was talking about how much of a benefit, how much of a blessing it is to make it, to see the 11th month of the year. Mm-hmm. This year as a whole has been crazy, depending on who you are. A lot of things have been happening in the world, a lot of things. A lot of good things, a lot of things that we aren't excited about, a lot of things we wish could be better and different about. But to be here is a good thing, right? So doesn't mean nothing's going wrong. We'll talk about problems here in a second, but it feels good to be alive. Feels good to have another chance to solve problems.
No doubt. It's like pushing a boulder up the hill. Yeah. It's a tough position to be in, but, happy to be on the hill in the first place. Yeah. I like December because, for different reasons, but.
It's his birthday in December, y'all. It's December 9th.
I mean, we can get to that, but number one, what made you being confused about the date problematic is because it's December 4th. And yes. Those who know December 4th, has a bunch of significance, but other than being Jay-Z's birthday, it's Alpha's Founders Day, right? And okay. I mean, I don't know if you you don't claim the letters anymore, or what the situation is,
That's
man.
That's not even the case.
Surely it should be marked off on the calendar.
Yeah, it's marked off. It's just been a busy day, man.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yes, in 5 more days, the next milestone is my birthday, so looking forward to that. But also, to the point, it's funny because being a December birthday, as soon as January comes around, everyone's trying to add a year to my age, and that's when I gotta pump the brakes on people and tell them, I still got a full 11 months to go before I'm there. So I appreciate it though, because it's still the turn of another lap around the sun.
Yeah. How are you feeling about your year, man?
The year has been, like you said, it's been rough. It's been rough. I feel like you have those years where it's about pulling the fruit off the trees and eating, right? And then you got the years where it's about planting, right? Yeah. And harvesting. Yeah. I'm sorry, I should say cultivating before harvesting. And here's how I think a lot of people are feeling. So I know you're familiar with Datavio Samuels, the CEO of Revolt, who we've had the chance to meet earlier this year. And I seen him post something, I think just this week, about how, we get into these tough situations. We have these tough years where we feel buried.
Or defeated.
And did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so the way he broke it down was like, in those situations, it's easily to feel defeated and feel buried, right? You're overconsumed. You have, a shortage of oxygen almost, right? And what he challenged in the message for people to do is to think of themselves not as buried, but as planted. I'm like, man, that
in position, like ready to
in position, ready to sprout out the ground, right, out the soil. And so
that's a good one.
That's how I would describe 2025, man. Is instinctually you feel buried, but I think we're just waiting for those April showers, man.
Yeah,
and May
that's
flowers.
a good perspective. Yeah, that's a good perspective.
Yeah. But otherwise, to get into it, what we talking about?
Talking about how to run towards problems, right? How to look at a problem in the face and make a decision. If you ask me to define problem as a whole, you asked me before we started shooting, I started thinking about it. I'm like, how would I define a problem? The first thing that popped in my head was like, a problem is an inconvenience. It's an inconvenience that sometimes you can see coming, sometimes you can't see coming. And I thought about it again. I'm like, you know what a problem is, bro? A problem is an opportunity. A problem is an opportunity.
That it is.
Problem is an opportunity because you have an opportunity to solve the problem. You have an opportunity to grow from the problem. You have an opportunity to let the problem be a problem and just, and let that come with what it comes with. But it's an opportunity, right? Now, what you do with that opportunity is totally up to you.
Yeah.
Right? You got the people that look at the opportunities like, okay, this is my opportunity. This is my opportunity to solve. Okay, this is my opportunity to cry. This is my opportunity to get mad. This is my opportunity to be encouraged about what will come from this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What opportunity are you choosing when you look at that problem? That's how I look at it.
Right. Exactly. What I think about is about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So my wife is in the hospital. She's having a baby, or rather preparing to have a baby.
Yeah.
And so anybody that's aware of how that process goes, it's much like a waiting game.
Hurry up and wait.
Dilation, I believe, is what it is. And anyway, I step out the hospital for a while because I know we got to stretch, right? And me being a nerd, I find myself passing time at Barnes and Noble, of all places.
Good pick.
Not a bad place to hang out, but found myself in the business section and came across a 50 Cent's book, Curtis Jackson. I believe the book is Hustle Smarter, Hustle Harder.
Yeah.
Right. Meaning do both.
Yeah.
I believe is the premise of that. But picking up the book, I just open it up to a random page, and of all pages to land on, I recall reading this statement where he explains how what separates 50 Cent as a person and as a businessman in particular is that unlike 90% of people who run away from their problems, he runs towards his problems, and how that's been able to differentiate his success from others. Now, obviously 50 Cent is 50 Cent. I feel like he's one of those people that has different personas. There's Curtis Jackson, there's 50 Cent. I don't necessarily condone or condemn whatever, but I think his business acumen is less arguable than his personality.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's interesting because that one line, mind you, I never bought the book, have yet to ever read it 2 years later, but that one line in the book planted a seed of thinking in me, and I've carried that the past 2 years when it comes to being in situations where it's time to problem solve.
Running towards it.
Run towards your problems.
Yeah.
Run towards your problems. So what does that mean? That means that the everyday person is prone to do what? It's
shy away.
Shy away.
Yeah.
Just be reactive and not proactive. It's procrastinate.
Yeah.
I'll do that later because that's going to cost some money, or that's going to be a hard conversation.
Yeah.
or that's going to take time to figure out. And so may be the truth, but is the truth going to change tomorrow?
Yeah.
Or next month when you finally get to it? So that's what I think about, man, is it comes with the territory.
Yeah, no, it does. And in business, which we could talk about now, is you have very unique problems or unique opportunities. Whether you make $1 billion a year or you make $500,000, $1 million, whatever, you have unique problems, right? That you have to encounter and, in your words, run towards.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, it's December 4th. Let's talk about
now. It's December 4th.
It's December 4th.
Good to
Definitively,
know.
It is December 4th.
Good to know.
And all the other part is not making anyway, so we're good. It's been December 4th. But anyway, let's talk about some problems or opportunities that we've had this year that I would say, because when people ask me, it's that time of year people ask you as a business owner, oh, how's business? And then you say,
shitty.
You get an answer like, hey, man, it's been, it's been a little rough, but then you realize, though, we talked about this, is that it's been rough for us, but you notice trends that are happening in the, in the world, right? It's been tough for a lot of people. Now, you got $1 billion problems, and you know what I'm saying? It's different. Right. But the analogy I use, I'm like, listen, when YouTube TV and Disney were at odds with the contract agreement, when they had to shut off their Disney channels on YouTube TV for 2 weeks in the middle of football season, which is like their moneymaker, that stock plummeted, right? That's a problem. That's plenty of people staying up to 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning trying to figure out how to get a deal done when each company is probably at odds. Like, I want to make more money. I don't want to charge my viewership. I don't want to charge my viewers more because I just charged them more last year and it's going to lead to cancellations, which is going to lose me money. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? So going back to us, like, what are some of the problems that you would say that we had to overcome or look at in the face this year?
Can I answer your question, but answer a different one first? Yeah. So I think going back first to what I said a minute ago, you have to understand that without the need to solve a problem, business most of the time wouldn't exist.
Yep.
So, you're talking about streaming in this case. Even before a YouTube and Disney dispute over licensing or rights to broadcast, who's the OG of streaming? It's Netflix.
Yep, that's OG.
Netflix solved the problem. What was that problem? It's a whole lot more convenient to turn on the TV and go to an app than punching in a VHS tape or blowing out a VCR,
right?
So that the tape can work. Or it's more convenient than paying $100, $200 for a cable package.
Yeah,
for only 10%. Or to only watch 10% of the content.
And people want freedom, right? People want to not feel like they have to hurry up and watch something.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why the Blockbuster thing happened, right? Netflix always been like, hey, keep it.
Yeah.
Watch it.
It's on
consume
demand.
it, right? Whenever you want.
Yeah.
Not having to worry about late fees or anything like that. So it's convenient.
Yeah. As well as the speed between the movie theater and being able to watch it at TV.
Yep. Convenience.
I remember back in the day as a kid, it felt like a lifetime.
Before they went to DVD? It felt like it was longer. Felt like it was much longer.
Oh, yeah.
But now it was, because now you can get, it's money in streaming too. It's money in the box office, but it's also money in the streaming as well.
Yeah. So it's almost now the inverse. It's like there's a rush to get it on a platform once it leaves the theater.
Because people can watch more hours of it, which is going to lead to more
money. Yeah. So otherwise, I think specifically thinking about Black businesses, right? Yeah. Black businesses rose to fruition based on solving problems.
Yeah.
Black businesses rose to fruition because if you think about barbers, for example, Black guys need haircuts just like the next man.
Yep.
But back in the day, other people were hard pressed to cut Black hair. Other people were hard pressed to embalm and bury Black bodies. And so many of our first Black entrepreneurs became business owners because death is inevitable.
Yep.
And it's a problem when we can't bury our loved ones and bury our own. Now you have a business not that was sprung out of making $1, but solving a problem.
Yeah.
So again, just reshifting the mindset of what problems are. Many businesses are profitable because people need them to solve their.
Going back to the opportunity play, like someone, I forgot who said this, but like some people might see a problem. The real ones that make money see an opportunity.
Yeah.
So
literally,
that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Last kind of personal story for now. I'm thinking about even earlier this year. You asked me about what problems have we encountered this year on the consumer side. Thinking about earlier this year, my wife, she got a new job.
Yeah.
Shanti got a new job. And at that
Shout
time.
Shout out to
Shanti, always. And at that time, we had consolidated down to one car.
Yep.
So that's the way we were able to manage at that time. And it worked. And it obviously one car costs us less than two. So we managed to pull that off for a number of months before she got a new job that required her to need to commute.
Be on her own,
And so that was the problem is how do you're going this way, I'm going this way and that way. We can't be in two places at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yep.
That's an opportunity for the dealership.
There we go. Now you're getting the sales. Yeah.
So I gotta walk in somebody's door and buy something.
Right.
Am I still gonna spend 6 hours there negotiating and willing and dealing to get?
I remember that he was like,
what I really want.
I walked out like he gave me the last thing. I've been here 3 times, 4 times. You know, I think that this is my price, but he don't know that's my price. I remember that.
But in that situation, I'm not shopping out of leisure. I'm shopping out of necessity because I have a problem that needs to get solved.
Right.
Now that dealership has that sale.
Yep.
So, but otherwise, you know, you tell me what problems have we encountered as business owners ourselves this year?
Yeah, man. I can think of a couple. I think one of the biggest ones that we are solving is innovation. You know, figuring out ways to stay ahead of the game, figuring out ways to bring new things to life, not do things the same old way that we've always done them. And that's from everything, right? From a systems perspective, from a, deliverable perspective, from, how we present ourselves, how we show up, I'm saying? Different events you show up to, like, doing things that are different, right? Because we're not being different, you're staying the same, which means you're losing, So the reason that's a problem and opportunity is because which direction do you go? You know what I'm saying? There's so many different ways to be different. People bring up AI all the time. Like, it's so many different. AI is a buzzword, like you always say, but it's like there's so many different. That's like saying a car. What car? You want an SUV? You want a fast car? Like, what do you want? What are you thinking about? You know what I'm saying? So there's so many different opportunities. So that's been something we've been looking to solve. Like, how can we be more innovative? Yeah. And then you think about it, that's a problem everyone is trying to solve in business. That's a problem Apple is trying to solve. Yeah. And they're supposed to be the kings and the queens of innovation. You know what I'm saying? That's the issue. So that one, I would say, from a client perspective, right? Speaking of being different, like, hey, what clients do we want to work with? As you grow, as you transform, you want to not just up the quality of your work, but you want to transform and diversify the portfolio and the impact that you're making in the work that you do. Yeah. So I would say those couple.
Yeah, that's spot on. Ironically, that's what came to mind to me is I remember one of the first problems that needed to be solved this year was qualifying clients. Yep. We get a lot of wasted time under our belt. And granted, it comes with the territory. Yeah. It comes with the territory. Any business. but especially client service business. I mean, but starting at the most basic business, somebody walks into your store, they're not obligated to buy anything.
They're browsing.
They're browsing. Now, do they need to hold an hour and a half conversation with you and know that they're not going to buy anything? Probably not. Does sometimes it take more than one conversation? They may come in that day and go back home and do some research and come back in and be ready to pull the trigger. You never know, and that's why you should never treat a situation like a burden, right? Like that. But otherwise, because of that, you know, and I think it was around this time last year we started talking to someone that was really sounding very motivated, very much like they were in a situation to have a need met in terms of marketing that we could help out with a new product, a vision. They had their own problem that they were solving in that space, and it made all the sense in the world. And then, you know, you have 2-3 conversations and then nothing.
It's like the worst.
Radio silence.
Yeah.
And I've learned this. I've known this ever since I did advertising sales. A no is better than nothing.
Yeah, right. Just tell me straight up, like, nah. Then I can go on to the next. Go find my yes. Yeah.
The preconceived notion is that you want a yes, which, yes, you want the right yes, but also a no is right next to that because that's clarity.
Right.
Nothing's worse than someone wasting hours of your time to then ghost you or ignore you. And so I think that was what triggered this. And this is where I'm moving to the solution, is this idea that we need some kind of questionnaire, right? Unless the opportunity is glaring, right? And I'll take that back, actually. There's certain situations we find ourselves in that we see the signs that say, I mean, you can call them signs, you can call them, sometimes they're red flags or potential red flags. We see them, but to my point I just made about someone walking to your store and you treating them with dignity and respect and consideration, you don't want to cancel out an opportunity to help somebody. But when you see the signals that tell you this isn't my customer, this isn't my client, you gotta
take that.
You gotta take that. So the questionnaire is kind of our way of qualifying what could be opportunities, but also aren't obvious. And so, you know, the questionnaire we introduce as a solution to that. Yeah.
And also, as people, you give them work. We had a meeting today, like a meeting, more like a workshop for a client that we're onboarding, and around teacher recruitment, right? And I don't know if you remember, one teacher said, "Yeah, if this person is doing this before they even have the job, that means you're not lazy." Because
that's hard.
You know what I'm saying? Lazy teachers don't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I can do that for something else.
Yeah.
Making them fill out a lesson plan is what it was.
Yeah.
Right.
Qualifying.
Yeah, qualifying. Yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah, for sure. Anything else that comes to mind?
This year, that was January. So we got 1 month out the year.
Yeah.
Out the way. Other than that, I think I'm not even going to say this is a solved problem, but it's a problem in an agency world, especially. And maybe I want to say now more than ever, because I think AI is going to solve it. But that's how to price out your services. And like, that's like a duh, right? Every product, every service has to have a price point to it. But what makes it challenging is that physical product based businesses, there's, I think, a bit more of a science to it.
Yeah. This can of soup costs X. This can of corn costs X. Like,
exactly. Like, so I went to a pitch competition in North Lawndale for Tech Rise yesterday. And one of the folks that were pitching was the owner of a taco restaurant. And what was impressive and why this person won, it was a $50,000 competition, broken up they won $25,000 out of the pot, and it was a no brainer after they presented, like no brainer, right? That they blew it away. But what was one of the things that was impressive about their presentation is that they knew their business in and out, including overhead. So in restaurant world, you call that cost of goods sold, COGS or COGS, I think is what she referred to it as. And she was able to say, my tacos, they cost $1.60
to make.
To make. We sell our tacos. Historically, we sold our tacos for $4. People panicked when we went up to $5, right? But we needed to because the cost of ingredients went up, and so we have we're still netting a 25% margin. That's, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's still a lot of sweat on their back building that business.
Yeah,
but I envy that business.
Yeah,
because in our world, it's like trying to not price out the cost of ingredients, but it's to price out time.
And time is an infinite, it shouldn't be an infinite thing, but time is hard to put a tick mark next to because it's time. Something that you think would take an hour could take 3 hours. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Something you think take 3 hours could take 10 hours. Yeah. You know, how do you figure that out? Yeah.
So it's problematic because when you're in a situation where, you know, someone says, I have, and just throwing out numbers for the point and intent of it is, I have tens of thousands of dollars to spend, but I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend, right? When you're building, I don't care how quickly you're succeeding, tens of thousands of dollars is still bread.
It's substantial.
It's substantial money. And that's nothing to turn your nose up at and walk away at without at least considering how to package something together that
could make sense.
Is reasonable.
But also keeping you at a advantage as a business. You know what I'm saying? It's like a, you know, and that's, again, going back to the problem, that's where it gets tricky.
It's a problem.
That's a problem, you know. Again, I think on our sake, we've been trying to figure out ways to, okay, this is a tier that this can fall into. Yeah. Like maybe consulting or something like that. And then taking up into something more hands-on versus our services. But you also, to your point too, for the viewers that are watching and listening, you have to be able to draw that line in the sand. Yeah. Like maybe this isn't that. I think the ability to be able to recognize who is your customer versus who's not is a talent.
Yeah, that goes back to that.
You know, going back to the thing, like, hey, this might not work. I want it to work, but that's not going to make sense for me, which ultimately, if it doesn't make sense for me, that's ultimately not going to make sense for you because I'm not going to be able to deliver the quality of product that you want. Right. And then that's going to make us both in a bad position because you're going to not like me and my product, and I'm going to resent you for even doing it in the first place. Yeah. And then now we in this, now nobody wins.
Yeah, exactly. And even going further into that, and this is where, you know, business owners, listen up, listen in, because this is important, right? What I just described and what we're in the middle of talking about right now, what makes this even more problematic beyond just for yourself as an individual is when you get to the point where you have staff and you have a team and you have a payroll and you have overhead that you have to answer for consistently on schedule, no excuses about it. Once you've determined how much, like a set amount of revenue coming in, and at least in our case, in a business like ours with the marketing agency, and you said, okay, Mr. Client, Mrs. Client, we've agreed to do this for this amount, and this is how long we think it's going to take. And we embark on that mission, and you look up and something that you scoped out and projected would take 3-4 months, and then shit happens, and now 3-4 months is turned into 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. I'm still paying payroll 6, 7, 8 months in. Yeah. And that work is still one way or the other, you know, there's effort going there. Yeah. But that money stopped. Yeah. So then it's crazy because you can get to the point, you know, where you look up and you like, wait, I lost money.
because of the time that went into it.
I think it feels like I paid the client.
Right.
I spent
Yeah.
$10,000 in payroll for a $5,000 project.
Yeah, let's use numbers. Yeah. And to that point though, when somebody's that's listening or watching is probably asking, how do you solve for that? Right.
Yeah.
How do you solve for that? Well, you can give your perspective too, but I think there's a couple ways. One, you can charge per hour for your time that goes over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over or just like a certain number of hours that
you can, but what if it's your fault?
Yeah.
In the eyes of the client.
If it's your fault in the eyes of the client, then, certain situations you gotta eat that, you know what I'm saying? But
sometimes you gotta give money back.
Yeah. Give money back. Yep. And then another one too is
and apologize.
Another one too is understanding, like you said, your pricing model, right? So you're charging enough where you anticipate it going over. Like I always use the analogy of I worked in real estate for a while, right? Every time they said a building was going to be done at a certain date, it never, and it's known in the industry. Like, oh, they say this date, oh, okay, we tacking on more time, right? So it's actually interesting. We should do some research into how developers, right? I mean, it's a different. It's a lot of money that goes into that, but how developers think about the cost of their labor versus if a project runs over too long. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That would be an interesting case study.
Be an interesting case study. Yeah. I imagine there are certain levers in place to have cushions. And, a lot of times too with development, maybe not in the case of WC.
Right.
But when you're dealing with like public projects, like municipalities, obviously many print money. In many cases.
It's well funded. Yeah.
But also I've seen like on the other end of the spectrum where buildings have been put up and then not finished.
Yeah, because they probably ran out of money.
Yeah. There's a set of buildings in LA around LA Live.
I think they got graffiti on it.
Talking about that, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's these buildings in LA Live, right outside of what's the stadium? The old Staples Center.
SoFi. Yeah, not SoFi. Crypto
Arena. And you can see it now. From afar, they're skyscrapers, but as you get up close, you realize those buildings are not finished,
vacant. Yeah,
and in fact, like you said, they're graffitied because there's nothing there other than there's fencing around, almost permanent looking fencing. And so what happened is, I think during the pandemic, these were some foreign investors that started the projects, and then stuff hit the fan during the pandemic, and the money ran dry.
So now the building's just right there.
So now the buildings are just there because they projected, like you said, a certain budget
for a certain time. And now they can't pay the people a lot of money to get up there and risk their lives to make the building what it is.
Yeah. So, so, and we're talking about, keep saying the word problem, we're talking about our problem, we're talking about broader, beyond us problems. But I think you were getting at this, which is, for someone watching or listening, it's one thing to identify a problem, what a problem is, but how do you respond?
Yeah.
In that case that you find yourself in, what's your framework on problem solving?
Yeah, my framework is pretty simple, man. Like I said earlier as we were talking, a problem is an opportunity, right? An opportunity to solve, an opportunity, whatever the case may be. For me, I look at problems from it's interesting because every problem is different, which requires a different hat. Some problems are the same, you know what I'm saying? Or, you can look at them and be like, okay, I have a solution for that. You know what I'm saying? Other ones is like, no, I don't have a solution.
I'm stumped.
I don't have a solution for this.
Got me.
Right. Exactly. Some is just like, So, but I look at it like this. I'm like, what is the most efficient what is the most efficient way for me to overcome this particular issue? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's saying like, I don't understand. I need to get some help. You know what I'm saying? That's problem solving too. Like, all right, I'm gonna bring this person or this thing in, so I need some help. I don't have the answer. Can you help me out? Or, I need your help to solve this problem. Mm-hmm. Other one is, and it's also even more interesting because I don't know if you said this or somebody else said this, but you said this about entrepreneurship, about one of the is like you become a master, you get your master's in problem solving, you get better at solving problems.
I said that?
Yeah. Cool. You get better at solving problems the more problems that you have to solve. Yeah. Right? So a problem that might be a bigger problem to someone else is just like, oh, we do this, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna push it like that, and then we're gonna be good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No doubt. Yeah. So it's like, so it's about the perspective and your muscle memory a lot too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like how often do you solve problems? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And your confidence in doing that. Yeah.
So I guess that's the running towards your problem. That's number one, right? Yeah. Is we all got this, many have this notion planted in their head that from an education perspective, that's where the qualification stops at. Yeah. And it's the real world application of being a practitioner that will have you running laps around the most educated individual who is qualified, but qualified more on paper than
in the trenches, in the real world, in the wild.
Yeah. It's the reason why, I was talking to somebody recently. I've had a conversation where, and this may have been the same conversation you're referring to, somebody who had gotten an MBA and said, I know who it was, I think, but I'm not going to say who it was, but I think he said if he could do it over again, he wouldn't even have gotten his MBA. It didn't do
anything.
It's one thing to think of the concept of it, but going through it, he's like, I was already
doing
where I needed to be.
Right.
So
the classroom versus the real room.
Yeah. So that's the one way to run towards your problems is don't stretch out your runway from reality too far. Yeah. By trying to, I'm gonna get my master's and I'm gonna get my PhD, which not taking anything away from that, needless to say.
It works for who it works for. Yeah. You can get it for free, do it.
If you can get it for free, certain disciplines, there's no way to get around it. Yeah. I don't want a lawyer who's a lawyer based on YouTube tutorials, obviously. But in other cases, it's roll your sleeves up.
One thing I'll say too that just dropped in my spirit is you have to put yourself in position to solve problems. Like you should be, I won't say looking for problems, but like kind of like, right? You want to put yourself in a position to solve, to be a problem solver. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Look like whether it's like something that happens but you can't control, you be like, you know what, let me solve this. Yeah. I think I could have a solution for that. Shoot, having an idea and executing an idea is problem solving, right? Yeah. I have a problem that this idea can't get out of my head. Yeah. I need to solve it by making it exist so it can be out into the world. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think, putting yourself in position to solve problems.
Yeah. And what's in it for me is there's an incentive on that. I read an article this morning. This is less business related, but it made me think kind of from the framework of a business. Framework is, you familiar with the Malaysian flight that disappeared like 10 years or so ago?
Vaguely.
Yeah, so Malaysian airline or flight, whatever, disappeared over the ocean and has yet to be recovered to this day, like over a decade later, almost a decade later. Yeah. Anyway, a recovery company I saw got awarded a contract that I think was valued at up to $75 million.
To find the plane?
To find the plane.
What can they do that everybody else couldn't do?
That's a big ass problem to solve. And who knows if they'll solve it, but the point being they're incentivized because they have to find the plane in order to get the full value of the contract. So imagine the difference between the problem being finding a plane and I'm getting paid $75 million no matter what. It's like a server getting 25% gratuity no matter what.
Right? Whether they get your food here an hour or 2 hours. It don't matter.
Versus you find this plane. You're still going to have to be compensated something probably, because finding a plane in the ocean,
people,
that's no small feat. But you find that plane, and that's the real payday.
Wow,
I can't think of a bigger problem in this world to figure out. But otherwise, you know how I respond to problems?
What's that?
Number one, I think that poise and composure
that's a good one.
Is important.
Not what do they say? Not panicking.
Not panicking.
Yeah.
To unintentionally stay on this topic, I often think about as a pilot, right? The poise and composure you have to have, and ice in your veins you have to have in order to serve in a role like that. Because
you got lives in your hand.
You got lives in your hand. Anything can go wrong, and often does go wrong, or turbulence, right? Literally turbulence. I read a story the other day about how all these different airplanes have to be upgraded with technology because some kind of like solar, some kind of energy, sun type of, I don't even know what to call it, but had caused some pilots to lose control of a plane, and they found out that was the reason for it. Mm-hmm. What do you do in that situation?
You prayed, and you can't overreact because everybody else is overreacting.
Everybody else is overreacting, or they might not even know,
right?
And they may not need to know,
right?
But composure and poise, number one.
Yep.
To the problem solving framework.
And then that I agree on that too. I always say that faith and panic can't coexist. Yeah. I mean, everything's gonna work out the way it's gonna work out, regardless. But if you're panicking, one, you can't see the full picture because your body's taking over. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Your vision is blurred. Like you're mad or whatever. Like you know what I'm saying? That's why
it's like a neurological blockage almost. Yeah. Cognitive blockage. That's I'm trying to sound smart with
you hit it on the nose, man. It's just so that's a good one. Yeah. But it's also easier said than done. Right?
Yeah.
So it's
easier said than done. But to just stomach it, like you gotta really have the stomach too.
Right.
And that's not easy. Sometimes it's trained, sometimes it's innate, but otherwise I think so. That's number one. Number two, sense of urgency.
How quickly you're solving the problem or looking to solve the problem or putting it in action.
Yeah. And I put that behind poise and composure because if you start with sense of urgency, you can be, in a way, kind of to your point, focus more on reaction and, start spinning in circles before you even know what direction, what's happening and what direction to go. Really what's happening. Right. Exactly. So I think at some point, though, it becomes important. And in branding and marketing, and probably more so PR, that is probably even more important because you see it every year. Brands don't have a sense of urgency and they wait and they try to compose themselves or strategize, and then they've lost. Yeah. Because they focus more on trying to have the perfect formula than they did. Hey, it's time to apologize. Yeah. Or it's time to have a position or stance. Either way, it's time to clarify and say, this ain't apology called for. So, sense of urgency. It's like, all right, now I got the gravity of the situation. Yeah. Now it's time to move. I got to cancel this meeting. I got to cancel that meeting. I need to fly over there, or I need to sit down with this person. It's time to figure this out.
I want to talk about something you reposted on your story, something that's been going around. It was for the Fellas episode. It was the founder of the Gathering Spot, Ryan Wilson. Right?
Ian Brock,
yeah. And Omari Collins.
Omari Collins, producer of Cam Newton's show.
4th and 1. Yeah. But he said something, it was super powerful, and I use this word, I'm going to use this word around the idea of a problem, right? The word was audacity, right? So it is almost like the confidence, the zeal, the almost like feeling yourself like, no, I got this.
Yeah.
That's what you need to solve problems.
Audacity.
Yeah.
So that's number 4.
Yeah. You need audacity to solve problems.
Damn.
You need to know that you're capable of solving that problem.
Facts.
Because if you don't know that if you're a pilot and you don't know that I'm talented enough to solve this issue, then you're not gonna solve the issue.
You know who had audacity?
Who's that?
You know what pilot had audacity?
Is it probably that Denzel Washington played in the movie?
I don't think that's quite the maybe he was audacious, maybe, but kind of different context. Captain Sully.
Oh yeah,
Captain Sully.
Yeah,
You know how much audacity? That's the perfect example.
yeah.
You know how much audacity you got to have to land a plane on the Hudson River?
Yeah.
And believe that you can?
Yeah.
You could have chose any other piece of ground and said, I got a better chance of surviving.
Yeah.
Who lands
on the ground? But it's like
water landing.
Yeah.
And it worked.
You realize if you hit the ground and I have 0% chance.
Yeah.
Water, you know what I'm saying? Maybe.
Yeah.
It's both tough. But yeah, audacity, bro. I think that's a good word.
Okay. So number 1, we have composure. And poise.
Yeah.
Number 2, sense of urgency. Number 3, strategy.
Yeah.
Number 4,
audacity.
That's the problem solving.
That's the problem solving formula.
There we go. Last thing, I'm thinking this kind of ties into the sense of urgency part. So when I was an intern, I interned over a decade ago for Pfizer, the pharmaceutical company down in Memphis.
Yep.
And so being down in Memphis, I have family in Tennessee. I have family in Champaign, where I'm from. I have people in Chicago now as well. And so it's always, the last decade, been like a 3-mile marker journey, right? Yeah. Between the South, Central Illinois, and Chicago. And so what I would do with my weekends at that time is drive up back to Illinois. Mm-hmm. Whether I was driving up to Carbondale, I was driving to Champaign, or I was driving up to Chicago in some rare cases, which was a really long drive. And I remember one weekend getting up here, and I'm not even sure where I was at. I don't know if I was in Chicago, Champaign, or wherever, but I remember being here and Sunday coming around and thinking to myself how unappealing driving back to Memphis, Tennessee, where I was at,
5 hours
would be.
8 hours.
About what? From Chicago, I'm pretty sure I was in Chicago. Chicago probably would have been a good 7-8 hour drive, which is doable, but also for a 21-year-old that's sleepy and had a weekend of socializing or whatever, probably not the best idea. And so I decided I wasn't going to work that Monday and not even making that drive. And this was all unbeknownst to my supervisor, though. Mm-hmm. And so me just being young and not kind of fully creating a holistic thought around how to go about that, I didn't tell my supervisor, which, I mean, at the time in my head, there was a rhyme and reason to it. There was a logical reason for it.
Okay. You gonna start with the class?
So, my head, I'm thinking I'm an intern. I'm interning for a conglomerate, right?
Oh, fly under the radar a little bit.
A behemoth.
Yeah.
So, interns are, up to this point, in my experience, always under the radar.
Yeah.
My desk sits away from everybody else. I go some days without being checked on at all. What are the chances that somebody's gonna come looking for me on this day?
100%.
Made all the sense in the world until it didn't. And sure enough, that Monday, I get a text, right? So what I left out is that my uncle worked for the company. So he's the one that
put you in position.
Put me in position to get the opportunity. And here I am getting this text saying, hey, insert name, is asking about you. He's looking for you.
And then your stomach dropped to your ankles, didn't it?
I said, oh shit. Today would be that day. Today that call my bluff. Call my bluff. Quickly. Quick turnaround. And I ended up having a conversation with him.
Yeah.
Conversation was quick. It wasn't a hard conversation. And he gave me grace. But what he said to me, and this is something that to this day stays with me, which is why you already know this story, because I try to instill it in others as often as it can be done. What he told me was that bad news, he looked me in my eye. He said, Desmond, I want you to understand something. I want you to understand that bad news does not get better with time. Bad news does not get better with time. And that was like, whoa. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And so tying this all back together to the running towards your problems theme of the conversation is just that. The problem does not get better with time. In that case, it was bad news. In some cases, it's a problem. In other cases, it may not be a problem, but it's something that you got to address.
Yeah.
It does not get better with time. And so we got to take heed to that.
Yeah.
As people, as professionals, as entrepreneurs, run towards those problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You'll thank yourself for it.
Thank yourself for it. Do the hard stuff first.
Yeah.
Knock it out while you got the energy. While the energy is at its peak. You know, save the lower high Q problems for the bottom of the priority list.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's real.
yeah.
Yeah. Good conversation, bro. Good conversation. So. Yeah. I think it's needed.
Helpful.
Yeah, helpful. Especially going into the new year. It's that time of year where people looking to recalibrate, reflect on what has happened in the year and gear up for the next year, which every year feels like it needs to be bigger. Doesn't feel like it needs to be bigger than the last.
Yeah.
And this conversation can help a lot of people. It's helped us, right? Being able to talk about it and share our experience to hopefully help someone that's watching this episode or listening to this episode right now. So we appreciate you tuning in as always to the Marketing Mentality Podcast. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe to our channel, comment on our content that we post on other social media channels, and we'll see you next time. Have a great holiday.